Okay. Here's an escalator clause. This escalator clause is going to show that, and I'm going to put it in the additional comments, that the buyer is willing to pay $1,000 above the highest offer, not to exceed the list price, $345,000. For example, this is an example, or I may put $355 or $360. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm putting the list price of the home, and I'm putting in additional remarks. Buyer will pay $1,000 over the highest bid or the highest offer, not to exceed, and then put a cap on it. What's that going to do? If there's 5 multiple offers that come in, that escalator clause that your client wants this property, wants it no matter what, that escalator clause will guarantee them, at least guarantee them, the highest offer if it doesn't exceed their maximum. Which means if an offer did come in that was at the maximum that you put your escalator at, then they would be out because they can't go $1,000 over that. Okay. So you're going to put an escalator in with a cap, and that's going to be really competitive for your buyer to secure that property. Okay. You got to be careful if you're in an aggressive market. Closing cost, home warranties, repair cost, all these things, desires, some may be needs, but in this case, maybe desires. We don't want closing costs. We don't want a home warranty. We don't want repair costs. Okay. If we can get the flood insurance transferred, fine. If not, we got a policy in place. If we can get a termite transfer, fine. If not, we have a policy we'll get. It all is indicative of what comes from that market survey and the willingness of how bad your buyer wants that property. Okay. Again, techniques to help secure this listing or secure this property on a negotiating strategy to write this offer is to put an escalator clause in with no closing costs, no home warranty, no repair cost. I mean, this is an extreme. Okay. Under normal market conditions, and say we're at a 6 on an absorption rate, which is a balance, or say we're in a buyer's market, which is a 7 or an 8. You got a lot of homes, few buyers. Now your buyer is on the other side, no escalator clause. I want you to pay all my closing costs. I want a home warranty. I want you to put a new roof. All right. All these things now they can ask for because the seller is now on the hook wanting to sell this property and can't. So everything is indicative on that market survey. What kind of market do we have is going to preclude on what type of offer we're going to write and what strategy to, when I say strategy and negotiation, that's what I'm talking about, the offer. Because when I submit this offer on this escalator clause, the only reason it's going to get turned down is because it exceeded the cap. Otherwise, if it does come in as the highest offer, because of the escalation, and they accept my contract over everybody else, this strategy worked. Okay. So again, is an escalator clause, John, used all the time? No, absolutely not. This is a case by case. Remember, everything you do in your planning phase of preparing your buyer folders, preparing your buyer, is all going to be indicative of dealing with what kind of buyer you're dealing with, expiration, advance, or contract. What kind of market are we dealing with, buyer, seller market? What strategy is going to make me, that's going to be, and in the CMA, the one-line CMA, it gives me all the homes that have sold. That's all going to be the information I need to put together a strategy / negotiation that determines my purchase offer to send in.